Ho, 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 and welcome back, everybody. First and foremost, we'd like to apologize about the little hiatus there. Had some problems kind of getting back through doing the whole Vegas thing. Then we had some health issues and some technical issues. But we're back. I'm committed. We're hopping back into this. No videos missed this week. No videos missed all month. Past the first little bit. But today we're going to be playing Jeskai Ascendancy. Very strong deck built around, well, the namesake of the card, or namesake of the deck, Jeskai Ascendancy. When you cast a non-creature spell, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Untap those creatures. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. So this pair is really nice with Emry, Lurker of the Loch. So you choose an artifact card in your graveyard, you can cast it this turn. The things that these work really well with is if you have a Mox Amber on field and Mox Amber in graveyard, you can just kind of loop those, churn through your entire deck, get a very large Emry and whatever else you may end up casting, plus just tons of mana. Same exact thing with Mox Opal. You'll make pretty much as much mana as you'll ever need, and then you also pump your stuff pretty much as you need. These two cards work really well together. Even if you don't have the infinite, sometimes Emry just being able to cast a bunch of things from graveyard, so you have Jeskai Ascendancy out, Emry, cast a Mishra's Bauble, sacrifice Mishra's Bauble, and then you just get to draw a ton of cards through Mishra's Bauble, and again, you're also drawing a ton of cards through just your own Jeskai Ascendancy as well. You have Tamiyo as something else to turn on Mox Amber, and it really works well in these kind of Affinity style decks. We're playing one Retraction Helix, which works with Jeskai Ascendancy as well, because it gives one of your creatures the ability to unsummon. Or even better, because it returns any non-land permanent. And so you're just untapping and tapping your creatures. So because you get to untap them, you just tap, return something of the opponent's. And even if you don't get to go through the full combo, like Retraction Helix can sometimes just be like, yeah, let's bounce like 5 things and probably be in an okay position for 1 mana. We're playing 3 Repeals, works really well with the Amber Opal plan, works really well with Cori-Steel Cutter. We're playing Mishra's Bauble for some more artifacts, works well with Tamiyo. We're playing Tormod's Crypt as an Urza fetchable. Haywire Mite and Aether Spellbomb as well for some Urza fetchables. Cori-Steel Cutter is our big threat in the deck, one of them anyways. We're playing Metallic Rebukes and Sink into Stupors for some control. Peer Past the Veil. This was a card I saw that I thought was pretty interesting for the deck. So it is a 2 red-green instant. You discard your hand, then draw X cards, where X is the number of card types in your graveyard. Again, works well with Jeskai Ascendancy, so you know, you're going through your whole combo, maybe you want some card advantage, get some actual cards, because maybe you don't have any, maybe but 1 card in hand. Peer Past the Veil just lets you like refuel your hand really well, or even if you're not in the combo, like you just get to the late game, this is the card that you really want to top deck. The lands are a little interesting in this deck, because it is a 4-color deck, so we've got Breeding Pool, Island, Steam Vents, Thundering Falls, oh, and 2 Hallowed Fountains. And then, you know, we're playing some Fiery Islets, the Urza Sagas, and then just a handful of different fetch lands. Pretty much you're just playing all the blue fetch lands because everything you're fetching for is blue anyways. Then in the sideboard, we've got 3 Consign of Memories for the colorless Eldrazi decks, Blink decks. We've got 3 Mystical Dispute for the blue decks, Force of Negations for non-creatures, Unholy Heats for creatures, Wear and Tear and Haywire Mite for artifacts and enchantments. Pithing Needle for any activated abilities, so things like Goblin Bombardment, Goblin Charbelcher, things like that. And 1 Flage is kind of like some further creature removal. You can actually recur it pretty easily in this deck. It's not going to come in a ton of matchups, but the matchups where it does come in, it's really phenomenal. Alright, without further ado, let's hop into some games. Ho 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 and Merry Christmas, cadets! This week, I want you all to comment your favorite black cards to continue growing the art transitions for the video. Let's take a look at those who had commented their favorite blue cards. Taylor Pack's favorite blue card was Tinker. TR Piff's was Murktide and Snapcaster Mage. TNT's Cal's was Cryptic Command. Castform 67 was Delver of Secrets. And AVC MTG was Polymorph. And now they've all been added to the Match 2 transition. If you want your favorite black cards immortalized on the channel, then just comment down below. The last day to comment will be December 13th, where we'll give another color a chance. Merry Christmas, cadets, and let's get back to the video. Okay, we're on the play here. We keep our 7. We're basically just cycling into a new hand here. We have a very early Tamio, so depending on what we're playing against, we can just flip a very early Tamio. Let's just play out Fiery Islet here. Hopefully our life total doesn't matter that much. I don't see a reason to reveal the Mox Opals here. Go ahead and crack 1. Malevolent Rumble. Okay, a few things this could be. Overgrown Tomb. Into Yawgmoth. Okay, it's Yawgmoth. I think I'm okay flipping Tamio very early here, so let's go ahead and just plan for that. Go ahead and flip that baddie. Could repeal just to draw a card. Yeah, trying to figure out what our game plan is from here is going to be the difficult part. These Mox Opals aren't exactly turned on. Yeah, let's cycle here, see what we can find. Okay, Jeskai Ascendancy is not a bad thing to find here. Then we'll just pass to the opponent. Spy Master's Vault. Okay, we know they have the ability to try to find a lot of stuff here. I go for the Dredger's Insight. Okay, they actually have some pretty decent options here. I think they're probably pretty likely to go for the Grist. No, they grab, what was it, land? Verdant Catacombs, okay. Maybe they're hurting on lands a little bit. I'm not stoked about grabbing Thundering Falls here, but I think we're gonna do it anyways. Ooh, Urza Saga. How do we feel about Urza Saga? I think we keep it. Turns off Yawgmoth. That means we're not casting Jeskai Ascendancy this turn, but it does mean we get to sink into Stupor whatever they play next turn. And if we can keep this Tamio safe, the ultimate could be pretty darn good. So on to the opponent here. I think they might be pretty likely to just Malevolent Rumble, but we'll see. Okay, Forest. Malevolent Rumble. Finds Endurance or Agatha Soul Cauldron. Probably Agatha. No, they take the Endurance. Do we want to go ahead and say no to this? Correct. Alright, so there's one less turn that we'll have to deal with the Agatha. They have any good activated abilities? Oh yeah, they got Grist. Can kind of be a problem. Here's Urza Saga. Let's play out land. Let's go ahead and play out a Mox Opal, just so that way whenever we make something here, we're probably okay. And on to the opponent. And then hopefully drawing half of our deck should put us in a good position. 23 cards is pretty decent. Oh, Badger Mole Cub. Okay. Not sure what that's doing them here. Okay, Agatha Soul Cauldron. Wrist. They're gonna get to make some insects. Still not attacking for anything, right? Yeah, no. Make this. Go ahead and fetch out Hallowed Fountain tapped. And then, do we even want to make anything here? I don't think so. I think here we're probably just good to probably combo off, I imagine. And hopefully after drawing 22 cards, we'll be able to combo. Also might just be Haywire Mite here to hit the Egg of the Soul Cauldron. Okay, well, draw half of our library. And then now I'm going to have to find a way to sort through all this. Do we just go for the Cori-Steel Cutters and cast a ton of cards? Is that what we're supposed to do? Or do we cast Emry? Okay, opponent just concedes it. Okay. Makes things simple for us. Alright, here we're going to bring in Pithing Needle, Haywire Mite, and Unholy Heat and Flage, cutting 3 repeals, a Pure Past the Veil, and 2 Jeskai Ascendancies. I think it's going to be pretty hard for us to storm off with them having Endurance. However, that being said, I think Flage is still pretty good because just 3 mana to kill one of their important creatures is probably fine, and if we can bring it back, good. If we can't, oh well. Okay, and this seems like a decent hand. Let's keep. Opponent's having to mulligan, and I think we're just going to rely pretty heavily on these Urza Sagas here. Okay, opponent just mulligans to 6. Okay, we actually have a new line of play here that's open to us. Let's take advantage of it. Oh, this is a small. Let's grab Hallowed Fountain. Cast Bauble. Cast Amber. Cast Emry. Yeah, they grab an Overgrown Tomb untapped, which probably means Fatal Push. Yeah, there's the Fatal Push. Okay, and we don't mill anything great. Mill an Emry, Urza Saga, and Unholy Heat, Hallowed Fountain. Oh, we were supposed to float mana there. Whoopsie daisy. Yeah, we'll just pass it to them then. Get in their upkeep. See a Badger Mole Cub. Seems okay for them. And then Dredger's Insight. What are they grabbing back here? Probably Aether Soul Cauldron? No. What did they grab back here? Wasn't Malevolent Rumble, wasn't Soul Cauldron, wasn't Green Sun. They grabbed Misty Rainforest. Gonna write myself a note here. We draw. Play Urza Saga. Tamiyo, and then it's probably better to go ahead and Pithing Needle. It's difficult to say what we should Pithing Needle here, though. All we know about is Badger Mole Cub, Misty Rainforest. Maybe we just try to cut them off mana with the Misty Rainforest. Right, it was Misty Rainforest that they grabbed. Just gonna confirm one more time. Misty, Green Sun, Aether Soul Cauldron. Green Sun, Aether Soul Cauldron, Malevolent Rumble, yeah. So cut them off with some mana. We could play the Mox Opal to try to bluff something, but I think I prefer just not run into some kind of board wipe here. One plays the Misty. and the Badger Mole Cub, so everything we knew about has now been revealed. And then we draw our own Misty Rainforest. Unfortunate. You know what? We're doing okay on mana, so it's really not the end of the world here. We'll play there, and I guess just in case we want a little larger. And we'll just pass it back to the opponent. So here we can make Construct and draw a card off of the Clue token. And they do have 4 cards in hand, though. Let's see what they get. So another Badger Mole Cub. Let's go ahead and just see what we can draw here. Doesn't hurt to know. Okay, just the Mishra's Bauble. And Ignoble Hierarch. Okay, they've got all the mana in the world they could possibly want. Make another one. And it's probably just Tormod's Crypt here to keep them from going for any kind of combo turns. Without the Urza Saga. Go ahead and Bauble. It's Aether Spellbomb. And then we can attack in here. We're just going for some huge damage. Which they can chump block for a little while. Their deck's really good at chump blocking. They'll take the first chunk of damage. Honestly, I think I'm fine just keeping Tamio around to draw more cards. Let's see if we can hit a Metallic Rebuke or something important here. I know their next card's Malevolent Rumble. But yeah, all of these are tapping for, what, 3 mana each? So they've got 10 mana. Okay, there's the Malevolent Rumble. I imagine it's a Young Wolf here. Uses Young Wolf, yeah. Okay, there's Yawgmoth. And here comes Young Wolf. They've got a lot to sacrifice right now. Okay. I'll try to decrease the constructs. Let's... So actually, they don't have enough mana to recast Yawgmoth. Could just bounce Yawgmoth here. Yeah, let's... Tormod's Crypt the opponent. And then let's bounce the Yawgmoth back to hand. Hopefully this will slow them down a good bit. And I actually forgot, the Misty Rainforest can't tap for mana. So they don't get any mana from there. Only thing they've got mana from is Eldrazi spawns. I think we just get to F6 now. I'll let y'all see how this plays out, I suppose. Well, it's probably just like desperately looking for something here. It's too black to proliferate, right? Yeah. No, they're not trying to go for the Tamio here. Oh, and actually this doesn't make extra either, because it's specifically when you tap a creature for mana. Okay, Outland Liberator's here. Okay, cool. Let's see, we can go ahead and play out Haywire Mite if we want pretty freely. Yeah, let's do that. And then we can attack with the board here. And at this point, both of the constructs are lethal, so they're going to have to block both of those. Okay, they choose to block with the Outland Liberator instead. Probably better for us. Okay, and then just go ahead and play out this Mox Opal. Keep this one, and then what could they possibly do during their turns? They've got mana to cast Yawgmoth again. They don't really have a lot of things that they can do with Yawgmoth, unless they find a young wolf. So yeah, let's pass it to them, and then if we need to do something, we'll crack the clue tokens. Misty Rainforest isn't doing anything right now, so they've just got the Overgrown Tombs by Master's Vault to sage you. And they've got the Badger Mole Cub, there's another black source for them. Okay, they go for Agatha's Soul Cauldron, which is fine by us since we have the Haywire Mite. Okay, so they try to go for the Outland Liberator here. Let's just go ahead and hit here. Okay, an opponent concedes it there. GG, GG. Okay, we're in the blind. Opponent's on 6 cards. We're on 7. We're on the draw. We've got turn 1 Tamio plus some Mishra's Baubles, as long as they don't Thought Seize us. Okay. So let's play this. We'll pay the 3. Cast out the Tamio. And then let's go ahead and go for our double Metallic Rebuke. And then depending on what we see from the opponent's going to depend on what we do with these Mishra's Baubles, because we might want to make just a ton of tokens with Tamio, or we might want to go ahead and flip it. Depends on the matchup. Okay, Underground Mortuary. So this could be Phoenix Fleet, this could be Yawgmoth. See if we can get a little more information. No. Absolutely not. More information, not for us. Okay, well, forced means it's probably Yawgmoth. Yeah, it's Yawgmoth again. Okay, well, we 2-0'd Yawgmoth earlier. Let's see if we can do it again. So they take a young wolf. So we can expect that at some point. Is this a matchup where we want more clues, or is this a matchup where we want more Tamio to flip? I think we probably want Tamio to flip, but also, nah, I want to keep up Metallic Rebuke next turn. Okay, well, if only we knew we were going to draw the Mox Amber. So we play the Urza Saga. Attack with the Tamiyo. And then we stay mana neutral by casting one or both of these, honestly. I would rather have Aether Spellbomb or Haywire Mite out. Haywire Mite might be a little worse since we don't have green mana yet. Once we flip Tamiyo, we can have green mana though. And then, yeah, we've still got enough to Metallic Rebuke once, but not twice. Go ahead and Bauble them. Verdant Catacomb again. Probably could have held off on the Mox Amber hindsight. I think we just have to let the Yawgmoth do its thing. It's a little annoying, but it's not end of world. Plus we can grab Tormod's Crypt off the Urza Saga. Do we want to rip Clue Token here? I think I'm interested in ripping Clue Token here. A little bit of card advantage. And well, attack with Tamiyo. Would have been nice to find another land, but oh well, I suppose. Okay, so we play another Bauble. And then, because of our lack of mana, we really can't play anything else here, so let's just pass to the opponent. Shoot, we might just need to grab a Mox Opal off the Urza Saga to get mana. Oh, and they put a Yawgmoth in the graveyard, meaning they probably have a Yawgmoth in hand. Oh! Meant to Mishra's Bauble in upkeep. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Okay, so we can Haywire Mite that next turn, but it will be a problem for this turn, I suppose. Okay. So 2 Yawgmoths is pretty much game. With the Yawgmoth. Yeah, 2 Yawgmoths, they're probably just going to get to draw through their deck, eventually find what they need to. They'll just put the counter on the Eldrazi spawn. I guess I don't even necessarily need to put the counter on the Eldrazi spawn. Let's Metallic Rebuke this. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. Ugh, Walking Ballista. Okay. Well, it doesn't mean they're in a great situation because of the Aether Spellbomb, at least. Aether Spellbomb does complicate things for them just a tinge. And we have a green Sun Zenith coming. Let me think. I think we're okay to make something here. I think we're kind of forced to make something because we need to put pressure on eventually. They're going to get there eventually if we don't do something. Yeah, I don't know all the lines of Yawgmoth, so I hope this doesn't mean I just lost here. Tormod's Crypt isn't dead. I do still think we need to grab Mox Opal, though. Yeah, we need mana, so... Mox Opal it is. And then... we can cycle with Repeal. See if we can find a land, maybe? Let's play the Mox Amber. May have been a world where I was supposed to go for Tormod's Crypt, but I just never know with this deck. Okay, counter there. Probably have to sack Yawgmoth twice. What we can do here is probably just repeal the Walking Ballista. It stops Yawgmoth for now. We really need to draw land so that way we can do something with Haywire Mite. Ugh. I'm not sure if we can get there this turn. Regardless, I think the problem card's Agatha. But I'm not going to be able to cast Haywire Mite and do the thing now. Man, we really needed another land. Maybe we weren't supposed to make the construct. Yeah, let's repeal this for now. Okay, they do sack it to kill. Okay, and now I feel like I'm not in such a great position. Maybe we weren't supposed to make construct there and just hold off, try to control out. They might just be able to go for some kind of combo here now. Again, I'm not the world's most familiar with their lines. Oh, we didn't even get to draw a card off repeal, because I forgot they could just sack and then it wouldn't draw. That was actually probably like one of the worst plays we could have done there. So Dryad Arbor's just a creature for them to sack. Green Sun Zenith X equals 1. Which I think might let them go for it. Let's see. Yeah, so here I think they can just keep taking... They can sacrifice the other Yawgmoth, put a counter on itself, and then that kind of loops the Yawgmoths. It lets them draw a bunch of cards, but doesn't necessarily mean that they win right here, right now. But again, it does let them draw a lot. They've still got 2 mana open. Endurance. I hit our graveyard, interestingly. Okay, does Walking Ballista plus a counter on the other Yawgmoth mean anything for us? They can remove a counter, ping something. Other one sacrifices it. But they don't have enough life here. Oh, well. Spymaster's Vault maybe puts enough counters? Oh man, I forgot about Spymaster's Vault. Oh no. Does that just give them enough counters to ping us to death? 14, 15 counters. Not enough to kill us, but we're not in a great spot here. I mean, we get the Haywire Mite during our turn. We kind of have to do what they can here. I don't think they can kill us. I'm about to find out. Okay, we're both down to 3. Well, it's basically got their hand picked out at this point. Okay. It's our turn now. So Tamiyo is mana equal with the Amber, so let's go ahead and just do that. So it turns back on our Amber. And then do we just Haywire Mite to try to hit the Agatha Soul Cauldron? Guess we could repeal to try to draw. If we can repeal one of their creatures, that's also not quite as good. Yeah, let's just repeal, try to draw a card here. Okay. Still no lands. Making things a little difficult for us. And we might as well hit this as soon as we can. Actually, don't necessarily have to yet. If we attack Construct, they block here. We block there. We take 1, but we're going to be at 5. Let's just attack for what we can here. And big game, big game. Oh, they block with the Yawgmoth. I guess that makes sense. Now let's go ahead and hit it. Okay, me actually forgetting that the wolf has undying outside of the combo probably just did me in a little bit. I gotta hope that they don't have another Agathos. Even then, actually, might not be end of the world. Oh, is this just gonna be straight Yawgmoth? Would make sense. Okay, Badger Mole Cub. Guess that's actually mana neutral for them with the Dryad Arbor. Oh, Walking Ballista X equals 3? I think that's Xaxes, because they attack with both. I'm guaranteed taking 2 and they just ping us to death there. Yeah, GG, GG. Let's see what we've got in the sideboard. Yeah, I think we have to mostly give up on the combo, so let's cut all this, bring in 3 Unholy Heat, Haywire Mite, Pithing Needle, Flage, and Wear and Tear. Alright, we'll be on the play here. This hand is unplayable, mulligan. This hand is a little better. We've got Cori-Steel Cutter. Yeah, we'll keep... Oh, we've got to put something back. Probably just a Mox Opal. And then... Don't have a ton of interaction, so whatever they do, they do. On to them. We're going to keep the Mishra's Bauble back just for Cori-Steel Cutter. Okay, nothing from opponent. Let's go ahead and Cori-Steel. From Mishra's Bauble. Okay, and we probably just lost this game. Force of Vigor's really bad for us. Oh no, Sheila. Oh, Sheila. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh man, that hurts. Especially on the mulligan. Well, I liked whatever they kept on top. Lighted Halfling. Yeah, there's the Lighted Halfling. Another land. Alright, we're gonna need some pretty good draws here. That's not really it. Let's hit in for what little damage we can here. And on to the opponent. Okay, they hit us for 1. Kind of feels like they're just holding back endurance here, maybe. Let's just poke in for 1. See if it is an endurance. Okay, not an endurance. Okay, grip. Basic, which feels interesting. Okay, there's Badger Mole Cub. Okay, Green Sun Zenith for X equals 3. I think we'll just sink into Stupor. Not like we've got much more options for what we can do here. I know it's just going to be a problem again next turn, but... yeah, no. Let's just Bauble to see if we can draw into maybe a Metallic Rebuke or something. I think they're pretty unlikely to take this trade, so let's just poke in for 2. Bauble now. Okay, they've got a Verdant Catacombs coming. I think that matters all that much. Actually Unholy Heat's interesting here. Do we Unholy Heat whatever they grab, or do we Unholy Heat the Badger Mole Cub? Let's Unholy Heat whatever they grab. Okay, opponent's figuring out their mana. Okay, Grist gives them some pretty good value here. A Dredger's Insight. So Yawgmoth or Agatha Soul Cauldron are their options here. I take the Agatha. Yeah, let's just go ahead and Unholy Heat the Grist. I did still get an insect out of it. I really have no idea what we do to try to come back in this game. And Tormod's Crypt isn't, like, horrible. It's not great for us either. Peer Past the Veil may have gotten us back in. It's just like, with them having endurance, Peer Past the Veil can be really bad. Haywire Mite. I'm doing a ton. We've already got the Tormod's Crypt. Maybe we just go ahead and play it. Okay, well, this was the exact reason I didn't want to play it, but guess let's get what value we can out of it. Take a decent chunk of damage. Flooded Strand is like the last thing we needed here. Yeah, we just have to hope. I really don't know what we can even do to get out of this. Like, maybe an Emry really early on would have been fine, but... Ugh. Oh, actually, them having Haywire Mite's a little annoying. I'm getting access to our Haywire Mite. Yeah, we just have to leave it be. Okay. Big walking ballista coming in. Just gonna go ahead and Thundering Falls. See what kind of position we're in. Okay, Temper Haywire Mite's like not bad here. I think we might just have enough creatures on board that it's a problem for us anyways. Oh man, Culling Ritual. Good card. Honestly, I'm astounded they even Spymaster vaulted there. That's a pretty good hand. I don't know, we have nothing going. They might just be looking for game 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, they could have won this turn. Yeah, I'm just gonna concede it. I don't think there's a way we get back into it. GG, opponent. GG. Alright, this hand's so close to being good, but we need another land. We are a little bit of a land light deck, so I think we're going to be forced to mulligan here. Also on the draw, by the way. Okay, this hand's a little better. We'll keep and put one of the Tamios back. Opponent kept their 7. Looks like Boros energy. So let's grab blue-red here. Go ahead and play out the Tamio and say go. And then next turn we can Cori-Steel Cutter plus Mox Amber. Okay, Galvanic Discharge kinda sucks for us. Oh, and a Guide Assault. Oof. Okay, Energy had their good start. Let's see what we could do to try to stop that. And then let's just Mox Amber. And then here, I think there's really a reason to attack. I mean, we could get rid of the Goddess Souls, but I prefer just be able to try to block the Ocelot Pride if they can't put out 2 creatures next turn. Not like it's difficult for their deck to put out 2 creatures, but... Oh, a Blood Moon would also kind of suck. Okay, Seasoned Pyromancer. I gotta hope for 2 lands in hand. Okay, it is 2 lands in hand, so they can't jump the Ocelot Pride this turn. But you know what? You still gain life. I don't know what I was thinking. And we can't... I mean, we could double spell this turn, but it's much better to probably just make the construct. So we'll out the Fiery Islet for now and probably just say go. Okay, Voice of Victory. Basically turns off our Sink into Stupor. And then Bombardment. Okay, they're just gonna go for it. Just trying to do what we can. And then, truthfully, our best bet's probably double blocking the Ocelot Pride here. That makes them have to probably sack the most things to be able to kill us. It's either that or they lose their Ocelot Pride. And I mean, we're taking some damage here, but... Now, this is one of those matches where I do wish I had Shadow Spear in the main. Or just in the 75 at all. And then onto us. Let's go ahead and make our boy. And then we can grab Haywire Mite here is probably one of our best options. Get rid of the Goblin Bombardment at least. Keeps us from basically just dying immediately. Still not exactly in a huge winning position here. Go ahead and hit that G Bombardment. Gain a little bit of life. I think we're just trying to stabilize here. Pretty far away from getting anywhere near the combo. But maybe a Peer past the Veil will help us rebuild pretty well. Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and sack a few of them. Okay. Land, play the Bauble. That goes ahead and gets us the Cori-Steel Cutter trigger. And then here, I think I'm actually more interested in seeing what I'm going to draw. Okay, Okay, so maybe we don't do anything with the Scalding Tarn yet. Yeah, we'll draw the... nah, because what are we doing with a Cori-Steel Cutter at this point? Just grab our Thundering Falls. It's also not doing us a ton. I think we basically need Peer Past the Veil here. Okay, I do think we can reasonably attack with the Monk. And then I think we have to leave back... I think we actually have to leave back both the Constructs to not die here. Okay, we drew a Cori-Steel Cutter anyways. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about the fact that they'd be doing that. Yeah, no, we lost. Let's see what we've got in the sideboard. Alright, here I think we're going to cut Retraction Helix, Aether Spellbomb to repeal for a Flage and 2 Unholy Heats for some creature removal. Alright, this hand's pretty okay. We'll keep it. And we'll just be leading off on Tamio here. And on to the opponent. Okay, actually, Mishra's Bauble is exactly what we wanted to see here. Let's fetch. Let's go ahead and grab a Hallowed Fountain. One thing about this deck is it is pretty mana intensive. Got the Mox Amber here. Go ahead and do the Mishra's Bauble. Attack out here. And then we get to Mishra's Bauble during their turn and still hold up a Metallic Rebuke. Okay, Mishra's Bauble. Okay, Galvanic Discharge. A little awkward for us if we're wanting to keep our Tamio, which I think we do. Okay, instead they go for a Johnny, which honestly works pretty well for us. Let's counter there. And then we'll just get to hold up another Metallic Rebuke next turn. Ooh, and Tamio's an interesting draw. As well as a Breeding Pool. Let's go ahead and attack with both. Okay, and then... Let's see, so we sacrifice the Clue. Flips our Tamio. We'll go ahead and uptick Tamio. And then... Let's see, we can play another Tamio. I mean, I feel like it makes it super obvious what we have if we shock this in, but I think we still kind of just have to go for it. And then let's hold the Mishra's Bauble to try to Cori-Steel Cutter next turn. Okay, there's a Bombardment. I think in the long run, Bombardment's going to be a pain in our butt, so let's go ahead and counter that. I think just trying to keep them off anything and everything's probably an okay spot to be. Especially at this point, we're getting to uptick our Tamio pretty freely. We've got another Tamio making us clues. I know they have a Galvanic, but they're going to have to choose whether they want to hit... Well, which Tamio they want to hit, I suppose. And I couldn't imagine them hitting the one in the back. Okay, they Galvanic discharge the Tamio. Interesting. So we'll go ahead and uptick there. Let's see what we can draw off the clue token. Okay. Urza Saga is interesting. Is it worth it to just try to double spell here? Or do we just stay low and slow? Because if we sink into Stupor, whatever they play next turn, that's pretty good. Boros as well. Mishra's Bauble allows us to draw some more. Let's just attack here. I think sink into Stupor is going to be a pretty big play during their turn. Even if it ends up doing nothing, we've still got the clue token. Yeah, so we've basically just turned into the control deck at this point. And a big play like that's exactly what we were hoping they'd do, so we can bounce that back to hand. And then back on us. So we've got a land drop to make. Let's go ahead and, per usual, see what we get off the clue token. Yeah, we didn't draw an extra card this turn. Okay. Blue green, I suppose. Okay. Unholy Heat's good for us. Let's Unholy Heat here. Go ahead and uptick the Tamiyo like we're supposed to do. And then we can Mishra's Bauble. Let's go ahead and attack with all. Does mean we're letting them get down the Clarion Conqueror here, but honestly, I think we're fine doing that because I think the Saga is going to get us there anyways. Let's go ahead and see what they're getting. Yeah, Ragavan means about nothing to us. Okay. Holy Heat's pretty tight. Actually means we can get rid of the Clarion Conqueror. Alright, they're hasting a Ragavan. Seems interesting here. Considering they know we can make a construct. Okay, they did not need to use the haste mana there. Let's go ahead and fetch. We'll just grab an island here, conserve our life total a little bit, and make the construct. Make yet another construct. And then, what do we even want to grab here? Does it matter? Grab Tormod's Crypt, why not? Oh, now we have enough types and graves, so let's just Unholy Heat there. Yeah, and then we got it there. Alright, let's go into game 3. Actually, before game 3, let's bring in Pithing Needle and cut. Repeal, just because Pithing Needle can handle Goblin Bombardment and a Johnny Flip. Which I think is going to be better than most things here. This hand hurts to mulligan, but we have to mulligan. We're low on lands there. I do like the prospect that Emry is presenting here, where we might be able to go for a relatively early Jeskai Ascendancy. We'll keep here, put back the Sink into Stupor. Alright, then let's see how quick the opponent is on us. Okay, Ragavan early. Okay, as much as I want to get this Emry out here, I think actually having a blocker for the Ragavans. Oh, actually, we can play both. We have Mox Amber. Let's go! Mox Amber Supremacy. Okay, pretty good start for us. We just hit a Mishra's Bauble. The fact that we milled over 2 Jeskai Ascendancy might make the opponents a little less worried about that. Let's go ahead and... yeah, let's Bauble here. Okay, Bombardment's a little annoying. Yeah, man, I feel like we gotta take the block here. Might mean that they just Bombardment to kill our Tamiyo. I think we're still probably okay with. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's definitely not the end of the world. We drew another Tamiyo. Let's get back Bauble here. Actually... yeah, we can't get rid of the Goblin Bombardment quite yet. Makes me wonder if we're supposed to hold on to the Haywire Mite. Oh, you know what? We actually could have gotten back double Bauble here. What I was supposed to do was play the Jeskai Ascendancy first, get back Bauble, use Emry, and then get back another Bauble. I think that would have been the better line of play, but that's not what we did, so let's... Go ahead and just cast out another Tamiyo here. And we're going to hold the Haywire Mite just in case. Alright, let's go ahead and Bauble, see what they got. Arid Mesa. Okay. And we're really just hoping that the Emry lives here more than anything. Okay, Ocelot Pride. And a Ragavan. So if they want to kill the Emry, they'll have to sacrifice both their creatures, which is still a pretty good position for us. Not unless their last card in hand's Galvanic Discharge. Okay, we've got a Metallic Rebuke. Oh, and you know what? This Tamiyo is going to flip over this turn because of the Jeskai Ascendancy. Okay, and we draw back up Emry. Let's go ahead and... blue, white. Red. Jeskai. Use Emry to target a Mishra's Bauble. Go ahead and cast the Mishra's Bauble. Discard the Metallic Rebuke. Flip Tamiyo. If we can... oh, we did find another mana. Okay, yeah, so I go ahead and... pop off there. So let's... uptick Tamiyo. And then I guess let's just go ahead and play the Saga. Do we hold off for a turn? I'm casting the Haywire Mite. I think we do, because if they draw any creature, they can just kill it. Yeah, no point in doing that quite yet, so let's just pass it to the opponent. Again, we're probably sitting in a pretty okay position. They just have Goblin Bombardment and one card in hand. That is unless they, like, flip over Mage here into the graveyard and then play a fetch land, and then we're probably in a bad position. But they keep whatever it is on top. Must be something pretty decent for them. Arena of Glory is a decent card. Oh, and they're hasting something. Maybe a couple somethings. Clarion Conqueror. Yeah, so let's go ahead and target the opponent here. They've just got another land coming. Okay, the Clarion Conqueror is a problem for us until we find an Unholy Heat. Even though we don't have a lot of artifacts, we might just be okay. So how many types do we have in graveyard? Creature, enchantment, artifact, instant. Yeah, so if we draw Unholy Heat, we can kill here. Let's just try to focus in on the Urza Saga plan. So we can Fiery Islet and Emry here. Oh. We only have one artifact. Let's make another artifact, then cast out the Emry. I realize Emry isn't doing like a ton here, but it's not doing nothing. Hopefully we don't just see like a bunch of Unholy Heats here. Yeah, no. We do have 3 Mishra's Baubles, 4 Mishra's Baubles engraved. 3. Okay, yeah, nothing we can do here since there's no activated abilities. And we know opponent just drew an Arena of Glory, so they've got nothing. Except for the Clarion Conqueror. Clarion Conqueror is pretty good for them here. It does pretty much shut down our entire plan right now. Bye-bye, Tamio. Okay, and I don't know if it matters what we grab here. Might just be Pithing Needle, purely for bombardment. Basically just shuts down the card. And play another Urza Saga. And then, actually, let's just grow the constructs. Maybe we're just trying to get aggressive with the constructs. Alright, then on to the opponent. I guess Pithing Needle also keeps them from going for a Johnny, even though a Johnny's not as good with Clarion Conqueror out, but regardless, I digress. Speaking of a Johnny, there he is. So them flipping a Johnny isn't a huge issue to us here. Their Clarion Conqueror is actually keeping that from being a problem. Just pass it back to us. I'm not mad about Peer Past the Veil. Just turns into a refill our hand here. At this point, I think we're in a winning enough position that we should probably just be attacking with the constructs. So let's do that. Okay, let's go ahead. Do we go ahead and make a construct? Doesn't really increase our clock, so we'll just do the 5 here. That way if they draw a Meltdown, we can at least peer past the Veil. Okay, they get the opportunity to flip if they want. They do flip, which is strange considering they have the Clarion Conqueror out. Okay, an opponent concedes it there. GG. Alright, we are on the draw. I kept my 7, opponent kept their 7. Okay, looks like we're playing against a Phoenix Fleet deck. Ooh, okay, that's something I like to see. Let's go ahead and Polluted Delta. Let's go ahead and grab a Hallowed Fountain. We'll need white mana eventually, I'm sure. Play out Tamiyo. Play out Mishra's Bauble. Mishra's Bauble. And we can go ahead and flip the Tamiyo actually pretty quickly here. Question is, am I interested in that? Yes. Alright, so let's pass it to the opponent. Alright, so let's go ahead and crack both these Mishra's Baubles. Look at a new hand. Okay. Board coming in, no big problem. And let's hope they don't have removal. Oh, are they getting the Phoenix Fleet airship already? Oh, they have it already. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is going to be a pretty big problem pretty quickly. Okay, we're going to have to kill him quick. Okay, that's going to trigger our Tamiyo. Go ahead and uptick our Tamiyo before anything else. The issue now is we can't really hold back the Metallic Rebuke. I was hoping we'd draw into another artifact of sorts. We can go for the Urza's Saga. Try to draw something with Repeal. Oh boy. I think, is Urza's Saga? Urza's Saga might be too slow. And I don't think we have much that can stop them soon, so we'll just go for the Thundering Falls. Okay, you know, that's actually something we're interested in, because if we can kill them before their Phoenix Fleet airships get out of control, we might be in an okay position. Okay, here comes a Marionette Apprentice. Which is a little frustrating, because it lets them crew both of the Phoenix Fleet airships. Man, this deck is, like, pretty darn good. I think maybe we should have mulliganed. We didn't get any fantastic draws off of our Mishra's Baubles. And we're probably going to be dead before this game even really gets to start. So we can sink into Stupor one of the copies. That doesn't slow them down a ton. And go for Cori-Steel Cutter, bounce the servo token. Yeah, let's take that line. I'm hoping this will work the way I want it to. I think they might just be able to sacrifice it, and then I won't get to draw. Okay, well, they didn't try anything there anyways. Alright, we'll get in for what little we can. The issue now is next turn they've basically got a guaranteed 8 fleet airships. And I don't know what we can do to beat that. So they're going to have a ton of blockers. I think really all we can do is go for the infinite at this point. But man, 4, 16, 32. They've got 32 to block. And we need quite a bit to get our combo going. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this on the channel later this week. Okay. So, I can actually turn it off for one turn by bouncing one of them. I don't think that's going to be quite enough for us. And then Emry isn't doing us much except maybe allowing us to go for the combo. Do they have removal here? Yeah, so that's going to get rid of the Emry. That's a bit unfortunate for us. Again, we can get rid of one of the tokens. It at least keeps us alive for a turn. Go down swinging. And it's crazy, because even if you try to remove one, they can just use half of them to crew the other half. Man, this is crazy. Phoenix Fleet Airship, what a cool card. Yeah, we're still in no good position to attack through. Not gonna have enough to Metallic Rebuke, so I guess we just play this and say go. Witch's Cottage, getting back Shambling Ghast is a little weird. You know, I guess it does kill a monk token eventually. Here, imagine they just... Oh no, I figured they would sacrifice the Marionette Apprentice to double their Phoenix Fleet Airships. Or did they fetch? They fetched. Never mind, they're good. Yeah, I think they're more than good. This is just, I think, too much for us to deal with. I couldn't imagine what we could top deck. Oh! Retraction Helix is actually not, like, that bad here. I mean, it's not great. If we had Jeskai Ascendancy, we'd be in a much better position. Haywire Mite could theoretically get rid of one of them. We can get rid of two of them, but it's not going to be enough, so we'll see what we got in the sideboard. Alright, we're going to bring in 2 Force of Negations, a Haywire Mite, and a Wear and Tear, cutting 2 Tamiyo, a Tormod's Crypt, and a Jeskai Ascendancy. I think we'll actually keep this. It's a little suspicious that we don't have, like, actual lands, but hopefully the Mox Opal just gets us there. Alright, so yeah, let's go ahead and play the Aether Spellbomb, I suppose. And then we're actually going to keep around one of the Mishra's Baubles. That way we can actually cast Cori-Steel Cutter next turn. So on to the opponent. And Mishra's Bauble them in their upkeep. Thoughtseize sucks. Yep, and there's their top deck Thoughtseize, which gets rid of our Cori-Steel Cutter. So now our hand is super weak. Okay, I will actually take Tamiyo here. Better than a lot of what we'd be dealing with. Go ahead and play out a Mox Opal. And on to the opponent. Alright, and here comes a Marionette Apprentice. I think we can deal with that. You know what? I think I'm okay actually firing off this Mishra's Bauble here. And then next turn they're getting a Swamp. Okay, Emry's cool. Another Tamiyo, not so much. So let's attack with Tamiyo. And then I guess we can go ahead and get the Emry on board. And then at this point, I think... Man, nothing super great in there. Let's actually go ahead and flip the Tamiyo. uptick, and then onto the opponent. We've got Force of Negation if need be. Okay, there's the Phoenix Fleet airship. We will go ahead and Force of Negation that. Wear and Tear would just slow them down a turn. Okay, a little late for the land. Let's see, I'm not super mad about Cori-Steel Cutter. It's actually not great. Let's just grab back a Mishra's Bauble here. Uptick the Tamiyo, and let's just pass it to the opponent. Alright, let's see what they're drawing this turn. Overlord's not great for us. Oh, and you know what? They actually get to just hardcast the Overlord here. Yeah, that's fine for now. Let's see what they end up grabbing back. Alright, they grab back Marionette Apprentice. Good thing for us is next turn we get to uptick Tamiyo, and then the turn after, I think we can just go ahead and ultimate. Let's fetch here. Yeah, we'll grab Thundering Thalls, I suppose. Yes. And we can hold off on our turn to tear. How do we feel about Urza Saga? Yeah, we'll keep it. So we got 2 draws. There's Jeskai Ascendancy. We've got 2 Mox Opal, so actually we can kind of just go... Can we just go for the combo here? Oh, actually, we need another artifact. Yeah, so we'll play the Jeskai Ascendancy next turn. And then this turn, we'll get back the Cori-Steel Cutter. And that'll turn on our Mox Opal. And we can just go ahead and tear here. And now we're good to pass it to the opponent. So we've got 2 things that we can threaten now. We can threaten Ultimate Tamiyo, and we can do Jeskai Ascendancy, and then just pop off that way. Okay, here's the Marionette Apprentice. The Sephiroth, which I don't think is the end of the world. Unless they draw into a Flare of Malice. If they draw into Flare of Malice, that puts our Emry dead. Did we go ahead and draw off the Aether Spellbomb? I think so. Okay, now we get to combo. Alright, we're back. We're going to cut up here past the veil and actually bring back in a Jeskai Ascendancy. And let's see what they got. Alright, we'll keep our 7 here. A little sketchy, but I think we can get there. We at least have ways to stop the Phoenix Fleet airship. Oh, they're probably just going to take Emry here. Yeah. Okay, Mox Opal is an amazing draw. Go ahead and fetch. Actually, you know what we're gonna need? No, we've got Sink into Stupor as another land. Let's maybe just go ahead and set up the Haywire Mite to stop a Phoenix Fleet airship. They don't have a way to get it next turn. We could cycle the repeal. I think I'm actually just interested in playing the Haywire Mite. No, let's just grab Thundering Falls. Let's try to set ourselves up a little bit. So next turn, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we could do that. Assuming they don't take another artifact out of our hand. Okay, Shambling Ghast. I think we can handle a Shambling Ghast. Okay, so let's play the Superior Springs. Lay out a Haywire Mite. Lay out a Mox Opal. And then onto the opponent. I mean, this might really be broadcasting the Metallic Rebuke, but I think we still do it anyways. Okay, yeah, here's a Graveyard Trespasser. We'll just counter that. More Mox Opals. Alright, so at this point we do have to repeal, see if we can draw something. Let's just try to... It might not be the best EV, but we'll bounce the Shambling Ghast. Mox Amber at least turns on mana for us to, like, tear if we want. Or I guess Haywire Mite. Oh, let's attack here. Then onto the opponent. And they just replay Shambling Ghast and then pass back to us. Suspicious. Play out Aether Spellbomb here. Something tells me they've got the Phoenix Fleet airship next turn, so we'll hold back the Wear. Just pass it back to them. Okay, they cling to dust the Metallic Rebuke. Oh, an Orcish Bowmasters. Man, okay, I missed my window. I don't know, it's a Graveyard Trespasser. Okay. So here I know it turns off our Mox Opal, but I think we just kind of have to cycle here. Oh, I forgot about the... I forgot about Orcish Bowmasters. That's 1000% on me. I just took a little more damage than I needed to. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's Urza Saga. We don't have white mana for Jeskai Ascendancy, because Mox Opal's turned off. So we'll just pass it to the opponent. I think they're just going to be able to beat us down here. Yeah, here's 8, 9 damage coming at us. Down to 3 is not hot. What we didn't need was a land. Yeah, at best here we make a dude to block this, and then we still die. Alright, GG opponent, GG. Alright, we are on the draw. We're keeping our 7. Opponent kept their 7 as well. And looks like we might be playing something somewhat similar. The Haywire Mite I'm not stoked to see, but if they're going to hit anything, it's probably going to be Mox Opal. And I think I'd prefer them take Mox Opal over a lot of other things. Let's grab our Steam Vents here. Go ahead and cast Bauble, cast Opal. Go ahead and cast out our Emry. No artifacts hit, unfortunately. What I can actually do is play out the Tormod's Crypt, and if they try to hit our Mox Opal, we can, in response, just repeal it back to hand. And that'll keep us having 2 Mox Opals in case we go for a Jeskai line. Oh, Pyrite Spellbomb. Interesting. Actually, because they have Urza Saga down, let's hold the repeal here. We'll go ahead and bobble them. See what their next draw is going to be. Okay, bobble their own. Okay, we see a breeding pool. And another Bauble. Let's go ahead and get the Bauble back. Play out an Urza Saga. Let's go ahead and play another Bauble. And another next draw is a Mishra's Bauble. Do we have any reason? I guess in case we draw Metallic Rebuke, let's go ahead and just Mishra's Bauble again. Guess we can see what we're gonna get. Okay, Sinking Stupor's not bad. We'll take it. Let's just kill another construct. Oh, and I think opponent's missing land drop here. Trying to figure out if there's any way for us to capitalize on that. I don't think so. I think let's just go ahead and... I don't think we quite want a Mishra's Bauble yet. If they find a way to kill our Emry at instant speed, then that's pretty bad for us. Alright, so now's where we can start doing some fun stuff. So let's go ahead and bring back Bauble. Get our Bauble back. Let's go ahead and... get Tamiyo out here. And let's shock in the breeding pool, so that way we can make a construct if we want. And we know that they've got the Bauble. Let's see what they're hitting next turn. Actually, I guess... yeah, no, I don't think I quite want to flip the Tamiyo. Or I want to see if I can hold the choice too. Okay. So I think they're just straight Affinity here. We're good to mostly pass on to them. Them having Spire of Industry, though, does mean the Haywire Mite. Well, I guess they have to choose between Haywire Mite or something else. Whether they want a Haywire Mite or Pyrite Spellbomb. I guess what I'm trying to say. Oh, we probably should have went ahead and did our Urza Saga in case they grab Pithing Needle here. Okay, no, they grabbed Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. A little unfortunate for our Peer Past the Veil. Okay, and they get a Mox Opal as well. Okay, so now they can Haywire Mite and Pyrite Spellbomb. Pyrite Spellbomb doesn't feel as good now that they've hit our graveyard anyways. Portable Hole. Alright, what are they trying to get with Portable Hole? So now we have to choose, do we want Construct or do we want Tamiyo? Honestly, I think our first Construct is like, okay. Because again, we can repeal here, keep our Tamiyo, draw a card. Nah, we'll let them have the Tamiyo. I think the Construct's gonna be a little better here. That feels a little suspicious, but it's just 1 damage. We'll take it. Yeah, and here comes the Haywire Mite for the Urza Saga. So let's make that Construct. Okay, bye-bye there. I'm actually going to try to hold on to this Mishra's Bauble a little bit, since they've got the Soul Guide Lantern. Oh no, because I guess we need something to threaten it with anyways. Now we have Peer Past the Veil. I'm wondering if we can almost Peer Past the Veil and feel fine about it. So we repeal... Trying to make sure we have types in graveyard. We actually don't have that many types that we can have right now. Yeah, let's go ahead and try to force them to use the Soul Guide Lantern, so that way we can Peer Past the Veil. Okay, so they cracked that. How many types do we have in graveyard right now? We've got land, creature, instant, artifact. So we've got 4 types in graveyard. If we go ahead and Peer Past the Veil, we can discard these 3, draw 4. So we can basically just give ourselves a new hand. Nah, we'll just let them eat it. I think it's fine for now. So what we can do is tap for blue. Let's just go ahead and repeal our own Mox Opal to draw a card. Okay, there's Jeskai Ascendancy. So now I think we are in a pretty good position here. Let's grab Hallowed Fountain. I guess I didn't have to do it like this, but we're doing it like this. White, blue, red. Oh, they have Metallic Rebuke. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's just gonna be what it is. Alright, well... suppose we can hold the Sink into Stupor. We have instant land enchantment in graveyard if they hit that. Yeah, so next turn we can just try to Peer Past the Veil. Let's just attack for now. Actually, we already played land for turn. Alright, all them. Alright, Metallic Rebuke's not too bad. And we can't use it here, but be good for a future turn. Portable Hole, okay. Let's get in Portable Hold. Alright, they go for the Construct. And they Pyrite Spellbomb the Emry. Okay, Urza Saga's pretty decent draw here. Okay, so the opponent pretty much has nothing going on. They could top deck a Capicator near at pretty much any point. I think here what we're trying to do is just maybe counter whatever they play next turn. And then if they don't do anything, peer past the Veil. Or not, I think we're actually in a pretty good position to just hold our hand here. So we have interaction for them, and then we can start building up constructs. Okay, Darksteel Citadel. Not the end of the world. Okay, and Tamio's actually pretty good here. Let's go ahead and Tamio. And onto the opponent. And then we can make Construct and Metallic Rebuke now. We can't exactly do that on a portable hole, though. But okay. Or are they going to try to take here? I imagine Tamio. Yeah. Okay, so that happens, but we'll make a Construct. Okay, we'll go ahead and make another Construct. And let's grab... Haywire Mite's actually not too bad here. Yeah, let's grab Haywire Mite. Makes me wish I would have left the green up, but we've still got the Mox Opal to do that anyways. Alright, and opponent concedes it there. Yeah, we were in a pretty good position. Let's see what we've got in the sideboard. Alright, we're actually going to trim on our combo a little bit here and cut up here past the Veil and a Jeskai Ascendancy, and we don't want to overboard, so we're just bringing in a Haywire Mite and a Wear and Tear. This seems like a fine hand, I suppose. Yeah, we'll run with it. Not a lot of interaction, but we do have Emry, and hopefully Emry gets us into something nice. Alright, let's see. Opponent's got quite a bit going here. They have an Emry of their own, and they already have Mishra's Bauble. Looks like they have a Lava Spur Boots too. So we might have to ride the back of Urza Saga a bit here. That being said, we can't turn one Emry and Urza Saga, so let's lead off Fiery Islet. Alright. Okay, we get some pretty good hits. Mishra's Bauble and Haywire Mite. Those are the kind of cards we want to see. The question is, do we want to go ahead and repeal and cycle? I think we probably should. Let's just go ahead and tap that for blue. Peel that. Okay, and that doesn't do us much. We'll actually hold the Mox Amber in case we draw into something decent. Like a Cori-Steel Cutter or something. Okay, opponent has an Urza Saga of their own. We're going to do some Mishra's Bobbling, and I think at this point we're just going to try to go for the Haywire Mite Engrave. Grab our Haywire Mite. I think this Haywire Mite's going to do a pretty decent job this game at trying to lock the opponent out. At least on lands, because we can hit Urza Saga this turn, we can hit Razortide Bridge on a later turn, we can try to hit their Mox Opals and stuff later. We should have played the Mox Amber first. Actually, I guess it wouldn't have mattered. Okay, so no response there. I guess we can go ahead and Mox Amber, and now we'll just pass to the opponent. Here, we can at least pull off Metallic Rebuke. There's a Dispatch. I don't know why they didn't do that during their turn. Maybe they were seeing if we were going to play something better. Okay, opponent might run away with this game. I have to see here. Maybe we were meant to bring in Unholy Heats for the Emrys. Okay, let's play land, and I guess we're just saying go. Yeah, them having an answer to our Emry, but us not having an answer to their Emry puts us in a pretty bad position. So, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, did we see Emry or anything during their turn? I guess we probably could have assumed that they had Emry. Wasn't seeing it, so I thought maybe they were more all-in Affinity Azorius build, but normally Azorius, I guess, is more controlly and wants to use Emry. Okay, they floated the mana. Okay, Haywire Mite's not what we want to see here. They're portable hauling as well. Mox Opal's probably the best thing they can hit since we've got a backup Opal in hand. Are they hitting here? Yeah, they're hitting the Urza Saga, so let's go ahead and let's get a little bit of value here. Let's grab a Hallowed Fountain. Go ahead and make construct number 1. Our life total is probably going to be a little bit of a problem this game, too. We have a couple more Urza Sagas. Maybe we can capitalize there. Issue's going to be this Haywire Mite. Yeah, can't block there. Yeah, I think we lost this one before it started. Okay, Tamio helps a tiny bit, I suppose. So we've got that. We can Mox Opal. Didn't play out Tamio. And then we can sink into Stupor the Construct. Okay, another portable hole. And then just so we don't have to take damage off of the Fiery Islet, we'll go ahead and sink into Stupor the Construct. Okay, they have Mystical Dispute. Nothing we can do about that. Rough. And I guess now that we know that they're more in on the blue cards, we can also bring in Mystical Dispute now. We'll probably just sideboard out the combo and try to go for playing a fair game. Down to 1, our Fiery Islet's offline. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of our Urza Saga. Alright, Misty Rainforest is also basically offline. Play the Saga. Draw here. Haywire Mite's normally not bad, but it's not great here. Block there, do that. Yeah, no, I think opponent's got this one. Concede and go into the next one. Alright, here, let's bring in the Mystical Disputes and the Unholy Heats and cut the Peer Past the Veil Retraction Helix. 1 Repeal and 3 Jeskai Ascendancy. Coming out of the combo. Especially considering they have so much graveyard hate anyways, it'd be pretty hard to go for the combo. This hand is desperately missing a second land, but I think we still keep it. We've got an early Mystical Dispute. We've got Mishra's Bauble to try to find us something. If we want, we can try to surveil for our land. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this here. Okay, and then on to the opponent. Okay, there's our land. We're probably chilling now. Okay, and nothing major from our opponent here. It's good for us. Grab our Thundering Falls. Another Cori-Steel Cutter. We'll actually take it here. I think we might be able to get there pretty quickly with Cori-Steel Cutter. Let's grab our... Do we have a need for white mana anymore? I don't think so. Grab our Breeding Pool in case we draw into our Haywire Mite. And let's go ahead and let's get the Mox Amber out. And then I kind of wanted to hold Mox Opal, so that way we could Cori-Steel Cutter next turn, but I think we kind of have to go for it here, so that way we can hold up the Mystical Dispute if need be. Okay, there's Portable Hull. Not much we can do about Portable Hull. And an Urza Saga. Okay, Bauble's probably exactly what we needed here. I'm gonna attack for 5. Yeah, I think we're just trying to go for a pretty quick game here. Let's go ahead and Bauble them. See a Force of Negation. Not into the world, and then we get to hold up Mystical Dispute and Unholy Heat here. And Unholy Heat's only hitting for 2 right now, though, so we've only got land and artifact and grave. Are they going ahead and making the construct? Interesting. Okay, and then Portable Hull again. Ugh. Okay, man, these Portable Hulls are giving us the work. Okay, well, another Cori-Steel Cutter. The issue here, though... Alright, we don't need anything white, so we're probably okay to grab Island here, conserve some life total. Yeah, that's kind of the wrong thing, but you know what, it's gonna work out anyways. Oh, I forgot opponent's got Force Negation. They probably get to just Force Negation here. Oh, but we have Mystical Dispute. Oh, but it's going to turn off the Cori-Steel Cutter anyways. Because then we would have already cast our second spell. Yeah, let's try to keep the Cori-Steel Cutter, though. Okay, they're 3/3s right now. We could trade a monk to kill the construct, but then we're probably not double spelling anymore unless we hit repeals. I think we just have to go for the fast damage here. Yeah, the double portable hull plus plus Force of Negation plus Urza Saga. Feels really rough. Oh, and they had a dispatch too. Man, okay, their whole hand was just cracked. Rough game for us. I felt like we were in such a good position, and then just everything that could go wrong went wrong. Yeah, we're getting hit for a ton here. They've got Haywire Mite. I'm not sure what we can do to get out of this situation. Oh, you know, there is something we need white mana for. Yeah, Unholy Heat's doing us nothing here. I guess let's just... even the Hail Mary equip's not great, because it turns off our ability to cast Unholy Heat, so we'll just pass to the opponent. And then I think we're forced to chump block on a construct. Yeah, we're definitely not in a great position here. Yeah, Misty Rainforest isn't going to do it for us. GG, opponent. GG. Hello, everybody, and we are back for the recap. And all in all, 2 and 3, not our best record. Honestly, probably one of our worst. But I still think this deck is really solid. I think there were a lot of opportunities where I may have missed getting a lot of card advantage, maybe even missed game. I know there was one point where I was like, oh, Emry, I should have brought back 2 Mishra. And then I realized, like, oh no, I could have just drawn like my entire deck there. Like, I would have been fine there. I think I undervalued the Pure Pass the Veil. I took it out in a lot of sideboard games. Don't know whether that's right or wrong. Maybe like you just force your opponent to use their Graveyard Hate early and then go for Pure Pass the Veil later. There were a lot of games where I'm just like, Pure Pass the Veils are out, but I sideboarded it out. The deck has a lot of threats. The Cori-Steel Cutter felt good in some games, felt bad in some others. Honestly, it just really feels bad whenever they can kind of remove the Cori-Steel Cutter, but maybe that just speaks to how good Cori-Steel Cutter is. I don't think we really got to see Retraction Helix. Sideboard felt fine. Flage is like, so-so. I don't think it really did anything in any game, but you know, the one-ofs you're not going to see every league, and that's just fine. But all in all, deck's good. I think I might play it again to try to give it a little more love, maybe play it more optimally. I learned a lot from the league while playing it, but you know, we lost a bit here and there. It's going to happen. But don't underestimate the deck. We're going to play it again. We're going to give it the love it deserves. We're going to do better with it. But that's going to be it for the wrap up. Thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment what deck you want to see me play next, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.